You can't laugh at that.
Whenever I'm high, I end up writing really, really mean things. Like,
Really?
Oh my God. Like, and I don't, it's not because I mean it to be abrasive, but I think it's so funny the way that I say it initially. Like, I told a joke that I wrote high the other day at Hilarities, and the manager wasn't in the room, and I was shocked that he didn't come up to me afterward. And then I found out the reason why he didn't come up to me afterward is because he wasn't in the room. But it's about, it's a joke about going to baby showers and how I think it's stupid to play these dumb games at baby showers. So automatically I'm alienating half the audience because men have not been to baby showers. Okay, so now I'm already only talking to half the audience. And then I'm saying how dumb it is. So now I'm alienating the women who have had baby showers. So I'm talking to a very specific, exactly like me, group of 27 to 33-year-old women without children. Okay, so I'm talking that, and I'm saying how I think it's really dumb, and we have to play these games. And there's one game in particular that I don't understand, where you have to take toilet paper. And you have to measure. This is a joke that I wrote when I was high. You have to guess how big around the pregnant woman's belly is, the mom to be, based on toilet paper squares. So everybody takes toilet paper, and then whoever is closest in size wins a prize. It's a dumb baby shower game that people have done forever. Okay. So I said, the joke that I wrote was that I'm fine doing that game at your baby shower as long as we also do it at the baby's first birthday. So at the baby shower, when we're like, oh my God, everyone get out your toilet paper. Let's see how big Sarah is. I want 1 year later to be like, okay, everybody get out your toilet paper. Let's see how much baby weight Sarah didn't lose.
Oh, man.
And it got groans. People were not having it. And this lady right in the front row, who had been a problem the entire show, she was talking and being loud. And she was drunk. She looked up at me and she goes, no, not funny, not funny. And I just kind of looked at her, and then I looked at the crowd, and I was like, you know who doesn't like that joke? Fat moms. Like that. And then I was like, oh, he's going to be waiting for me. I'm going to get fired. Like, this is going to be a problem. But because she was being such a bitch, everybody laughed at it. And I was like, that was the saving grace on that one. That was already the joke's tag. Yeah. I just hadn't gotten there yet. The fact that she was being a bitch is what saved it. But that was a joke I wrote when I was high. I wrote a joke about fat moms. And you can't tell that. Like I said, that is such a specific joke for the exact. And I told the manager about it afterwards. And he was like, yeah, you are very lucky I wasn't in the room for that. And he's like, I'll be surprised if we don't get complaints. And he goes, if you're doing a show for your exact audience, I think that joke will murder. He goes, but when you're doing it in front of 40 and 50-year-old married couples, I don't know if that's the right thing to do, But those are the types of very mean jokes that I write when I'm high. So
it wouldn't be quite as mean if you switched it to the dad. See how much weight the dad had gained since the kid, and see if it matches the mom. But dads aren't at baby
showers.
We'll see if it matches the mom where she was when she was having.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, because the dad got fat.
Yeah.
All right, maybe, yeah.
And that's a good callback to dad bods.
Yeah.
The way you described it, like you're alienating the guys and then you're alienating the moms. Like a thing that a lot of comics will forget when they get on stage, when they have this new joke that's like, oh, that's funny. And then you go into a room where you look out into the audience and that joke doesn't apply to anybody, but you still tell it. And it's like, well, I guess that joke doesn't work. It's like, I mean, sometimes you got to take that risk, but
there's a funness to it where you're like, I believe in this joke and I think it's very funny. There's a certain part of it, but like I said, these people paid a lot of money. These people got sitters. And they're not sitting there to be like, well, you can't call me fat. But it's also one of those things where I'm like, I didn't tell you to be offended by it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it goes back and forth, But if that is a joke for a bar show full of young people, that is a joke that will do well there. That is not a joke for a comedy club. But that was just an example of a mean, those are the types of mean things that I write when I'm high that I think are so funny. And even when I read them back sober, I'm like, this might be too mean. And then I try it and I find out that that's right.
Yeah.
That's usually what it is.
Yeah. That's a good way to do it is write the initial idea down high and then come back to it and let's dial it back a little bit.
Right.
I'm the same way. Like sometimes I go a little bit too deep. Yeah. I used to smoke weed a lot more. I just do it every once in a while. And the other night I did it and I was like, oh, we're on a rock hurtling through space and none of this political stuff matters. Mm-hmm. And I wrote pages of stuff and I looked over it the other day and I was like, okay, this is the start of something. But if I were to take that up on stage, people would be like, we didn't sign up for this meta bullshit.
Right.
Especially for like Friday late shows, I find that those are the most miserable audiences. Just, I mean, not miserable, but it's been a long day, and they find themselves at a comedy club and they're drunk, and it's like, this past weekend, or was it this past week? Yeah, last weekend at Funny Stop, the Friday late show, everybody was wasted, and the table up front was the loudest table in the room. They weren't like heckling or anything, but the one guy, I do my last name is Horningbin. I have the joke where, if I get a boner and you win the fight, I win the fight. But he laughed at the second I said boner. Like, I didn't even get to the punchline. So I was like, oh, I'm going to call an audible because this table's going to dominate the room. So I need to like make sure that they're enjoying it and then comment on everything that's happening. And then I did that. I called an audible, and I went from having what would have been probably an okay set to, I mean, we all had fun. Like,
yeah.
So it's good. I pulled out a bunch of old jokes that in hindsight are hacky, and I pulled them out of my set for that reason.
Right. Well, and that is just going back to the point of not being drunk on stage, because if that kind of situation were to arise and you were 2 or 3 drinks in, you wouldn't be able to make that change. You wouldn't be able to be like, okay, well, this one will get them back, or whatever it might be. You just be like, well, fuck you too then.
Yeah.
Well, you just could come in here and be loud. You know what I mean? Like you did the right thing.
Right. Every time, I would, because I don't do a lot of like dick jokes or anything like that, but I have a couple of, subtle references, and every time I'd be like, hey, this one's for you. And everybody else would be like, oh, it is for him because he loves it. Yeah. So he was boner guy by the end of the set, which was a lot of fun. Special thanks to Golden Ox Studio. You can find Golden Ox Studio for all your podcasting needs at goldenoxstudio.com. Hit up Jeremy. He is fantastic to work with, a professional. He makes podcasting easy. And if you've been kicking the tires on starting your own podcast, definitely give Golden Ox Studio a look. If you'd like to weigh in on today's topic, follow us on Twitter at YouCan'tLaughPod, or like us on Facebook at You Can't Laugh at That, and tell us how you did laugh at today's topic, or how you didn't. This is all about the conversation, is what I'm saying. All right. Bye.